This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, and verse 12. If thou sayest, Behold, we knew not, we knew it not, doth not he that pondereth the heart consider it? And he that keepeth thy soul, doth not he know it? And shall not he render to every man according to his works? This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, and verse 12. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to our venerable apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. A peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, so Brother Haran coming back at you with another lesson. Lord willing to be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. All right, today's title is going to be America is no different. Okay, America, Babylon the Great is no different. And what do I mean by this? All right, I'm going to go into a small little lesson here. All right, going to show you that America is on a fast pace, all right, to an end, just like all these other empires. But this is going to be a little different, all right, in the sense that how it's going to go out. Okay, it's going to go down just like all these other empires that ever ruled or was ever in place. America, Rome, the Greeks, all right, even Egypt. All right, all these different so-called empires came to a fall, and America is no different. But the difference between America and her fall and all these other nations is that this is going to be the end of this age, and it's going to be done by what? Thermonuclear fire. As you can see, the nations are gathering their armies and their troops, okay, and they're testing a lot of nuclear missiles, nuclear capabilities. That is not something anyone should be taken lightly, to be honest. And it's funny because when you speak to people who are outside of America, all right, they seem to be very concerned because they know the reality of the situation that we're in. All right. And a lot of people are starting to say that, hey, these times that we're in is very much similar to what the Bible talks about in the end days. You see, so it seems like people here in America, Babylon the Great, are the only ones, all right, who are not really paying attention to prophecy. And it's kind of interesting because America, Babylon the Great, has the most amount of prophets in the whole entire world. All the prophets, majority of the prophets, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai sent us here to Babylon the Great. Okay, you got brothers from different walks of life who all teach and prophesy about the downfall of America, Babylon the Great. Okay, you got prophets who are in the UK. You got prophets who are in Latin America. Okay, Asia, Africa. Okay, around the world, Europe, okay, all around the world, okay, who are prophesying the downfall of this so-called great empire. Okay, hence you have Trump coming out and saying what? Make America great again. What he's saying is we have to go back to the times where we used to be that great Roman Empire. Okay, let's make it great again. Babylon the Great. Okay, but again, America is no different because it's going to go down. And nobody will have an excuse. Because what? The Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai has sent his men out to give you the warning of what's to come. And we went into details. We gave you all the prophecies. Like the Apostle Paul said, I have not shunned to declare it unto you all the counsel of the Heavenly Father. Okay? So everything, the good, the bad, the sweet, the bitter. All right? And now we're entering closer and closer to the end, all right, of this age and the end of, quite frankly, our ministry. Okay, just like Yahushua's ministry, okay, it came to an end, all right, but it continued, all right, in the form of the prophets who became, disciples who became apostles, okay, and then the church grew and so on and so forth. That journey, all right, is about to be at its end, okay, all the way back in the time of the book of Acts, all the way till now, we're starting to see all those prophecies, the end time prophecies that the disciples who later on became apostles were looking forward to back 2,000 years ago. All right. Now, I want to read something real quick, again, to show you, all right, why America is no different. Okay. And this article goes, it says, history shows that societies collapse when leaders undermine social contracts. Okay. And of course, the prime picture they have is some form of, ruins of what is known as the Roman Forum. Okay, we know a forum to be a marketplace. Okay, the agora, if you will. All right. So it says all good things must come to an end. Whether societies are ruled by ruthless dictators or more well-meaning representatives, they fall apart in time with different degrees of severity. In a new paper, anthropologists examined a broad global sample of 30 pre-modern societies. They found that when good governments, ones that provided goods and services for their people and did not starkly concentrate wealth and power, fell apart, they broke down more intensely than collapsing despotic regimes. And the researchers found a common thread in the collapse of good governments, which are leaders who undermined and broke from upholding core societal principles, morals, and ideals. Okay? And that's the same thing that happened going all the way back to the time of our nation when we were in power. Okay, the nation of Israel. The kingdom started to go down when our King Solomon went off. You see, when he deviated, all right, from the societal principles, the morals and ideals of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that's when the Lord rent the kingdom from him. All right, so it's always been the laws and the rules of nature. As a king, you have to be in line with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. If not, he will rend the kingdom from you. Let's get a quick precept to back that up. And that is why you're seeing America go down, because America has far exceeded, all right, the threshold of wickedness. All right, and no kingdom can ever outlast time. Okay, when you end up with this type of madness that you're seeing around the world right now as we speak. Okay, let me see. It might be, I believe it might be 1 Samuel, the 20th chapter, or the 22nd chapter. Let's see. It might be 2 Samuel. Let's see. 2 Samuel 23. No, let's try 1 Samuel 23. Okay. I'm trying to find this precept here. All right, it'll come back. It'll come back to me. As a matter of fact, you know what? Hold on one second. Let's see. All right, let's get the actual scriptures here. 1 second. All right, let's see. Right. So it is the book of 2 Samuel. All right. So it's the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 23, and verse, start off at 3. It says, "The power of Israel said, the rock of Israel spake to me, he that ruleth over men must be just, ruling in the fear of the Most High." Okay, so in order to rule any kind of people or in any form of power, all right, on this planet Earth, you have to have those principles, the laws of nature. You cannot go against them. All right, what do you see in America? They go against every law of nature. All right, to the point where they want to change, all right, the very concept of human. All right, they want to make men women, women men. All right, these are all changes that they're doing to alter the mindset of how people actually think. So if this world was to go on for about 5-10 more years, people would not, you wouldn't see it being a normal thing to have so-called man and woman relationships anymore. Okay, that's where they want to push everything. All right, they have gender neutral. All right, they have gender fluidity. You know, all kinds of different shit. Gender this, gender that. That's all to create confusion. So imagine all these children, like I said, the age group now in the next 5-10 years. All right, what the hell is going to be happening? You know, that's why the Lord is going to destroy this place. All right, because there are no morals or principles or any type of realistic ideals that is in line with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, except for the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay, so continue. It says, pre-modern states were not that different from modern ones. Some pre-modern states had good governance and weren't that different from what we see in some democratic countries today, says Gary Feynman, the MacArthur curator of anthropology at Chicago's Field Museum and one of the authors of a new study in Frontiers in Political Science. Quote, the states that had good governance, although they may have been able to sustain themselves slightly longer than autocratic run ones, tended to collapse more thoroughly, more severely. Okay, what's that? Autocratic, which is self-rule. Okay, anything that has auto, all right, in front of it. Auto means self, all right, and acratic, all right, goes into rule. Okay, that's where you get the word crassy from. All right. So continue, it says, quote, we noted the potential for failure caused by an internal factor that might have been manageable if properly anticipated, says Richard Blanton, a professor emeritus of anthropology at Purdue University and the study's lead author. We refer to an inexplicable failure of the principal leadership to uphold values and norms that had long guided the actions of previous leaders, followed by a subsequent loss of citizen confidence in the leadership and government and collapse. And what do you see here in America, Babylon the Great? The same exact thing. Okay, a lot of people have lost, all right, confidence, all right, in the government, all right, in the so-called leadership, in the so-called president, all right, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, all right, which pretty much is the fuel of this lesson. Okay, I was on Twitter, okay, and Biden had posted a tweet, so I went and I clicked on it, and as I'm reading it, the Spirit's like, read the comments. Normally I don't do that, so scrolling through the comments, and I'm like, oh shit, look at this. Right now, understand that the government, all right, per the DHS, all right, a couple of years ago, I believe two to 3 years ago, but it kind of came up again last year, where they were pretty much saying that, look, we're at a point where the information that's going on social media and the internet, all right, is dangerous to the so-called democracy, is what they say, right? That's that doublespeak bullshit, okay? And they're investing in high-tech, all kinds of technology to modify the kind of conversations that people are having, moderate the kind of conversations people are having. And their findings are proving to them that the American people are waking up, and not just the American people, but people around the world, okay? And what are they waking up to? They're waking up to the truth, all right? And that's a problem. So they have to do something about it. So their idea, all right, for those who are now just waking up to this, their idea is to create a form of confusion on around the world, right? By using AI and all this different shit. They're going to cause confusion. And through that confusion, they want to use the internet to measure what kind of conversations people are having and who are the ones who are starting this type of thread of conversations. They're tracking all that. It's called TTID, tag, trace, and identify. So it takes time for them to do this through the system, but they have a pretty much big enough system that can actually get this on the go. When you look into something known as Jade Helm 15, it goes into all of that. Okay. And they said, the DHS said, over 90% of the American population are under the category of domestic terrorists, and they don't even know it. And what constitutes a domestic terrorist? Anyone who has any values or holds any type of ideas that goes against the given narrative or agenda set by their government. So if you disagree with the policies that Biden is putting out because, inflation is too much and, gas prices are too high, and you protest against it, you are on the list of domestic terrorists. If the Vanessa came out and you were, watching videos to even question, what is this about? You're on the list. Okay. If you're having any conversations on the phone, the NSA is always listening. All right. Big brother's always watching. They know what kind of conversations you're having. They know what kind of shit you're into, what you're watching, all that shit. So they have it on record. See? And very soon they will set something in motion that will cause mass hysteria and fear and panic that the only solution will be martial law. It's already set in stone, it's already set in place. That's how they're going to take over. You see, you got to get real with this. This is all biblical prophecy, and that's what a lot of people don't really understand. All right, that this is not something that we're talking about is going to happen in about 10 years from now. No. 10 years from now was 10 years ago. If you're just waking up, man, look. It says, we noted the potential for failure caused by an internal factor that might have been manageable if properly anticipated, says Richard Blanton. I think I read this already. Continuing, it says, in their study, Blanton, Feynman, and their colleagues took an in-depth look at the governments of four societies: the Roman Empire, China's Ming Dynasty, India's Mughal Dynasty or Empire, and the Venetian Republic. These societies flourished hundreds, or in ancient Rome's case, thousands of years ago, and they had comparatively more equitable distributions of power and wealth than many of the other cases examined, although they looked different from what we consider, quote, good governments today, as they did not have popular elections. There are basically no electoral democracies before modern times, so if you want to compare a good governance in the present with good governance in the past, you can't really measure it by the role of elections. So important is contemporary democracies. You have to come up with some other yardsticks, and the core features of the good governance concept serve as a suitable measure of that, quote unquote, says, end quote, says Feynman. Quote, they didn't have elections, but they had other checks and balances on the concentration of personal power and wealth by a few individuals. They all had means to enhance social well-being, provision, goods and services, beyond just a narrow few, and means of commoners to express their voices. Hey, America, okay? And that's perfect with Rome. Rome is the only real society that ever lived that America is that comparable to. Why? Because America is the second leg of the Roman Empire. It's just that simple, okay? It says, in societies that meet the academic definition of good governance, the government meets the needs of the people, in large part because the government depends on those people for the taxes and resources that keep the state afloat. These systems depended heavily on the local population for a good chunk of their resources. Even if you don't have elections, the government has to be at least somewhat responsive to the local population, because that's what funds the government, explains Feynman. There are often checks on both the power and the economic selfishness of leaders, so they can't hoard all the wealth. Well, you can cancel that with America. Okay? It says societies with good governance tend to last a bit longer than autocratic governments that keep power concentrated to one person or small group, and that's because the people eventually revolt. All right, when you have some type of dictatorship, the people eventually revolt. Okay, and the world has been underneath a complete dictatorship by Esau Edom. Okay, they took over this earth, and it started with Alexander the Great, so-called Alexander the Greek. All right, and he wanted to push something known as Pan-Hellenism. Okay, Pan-Hellenism meaning the whole entire known world at that time, all right, would take on Greekish customs. Okay, and that's something that Antiochus Epiphanes tried to push as well. Okay, the Romans, when they came into power, they wanted to push a concept of Roman influence upon the whole entire world. All right, by conquering them with their armies and so on and so forth. Okay, now to a degree, they would allow you to practice your own beliefs, but it was more through their political forms, their philosophies. Okay, they wouldn't really forcefully impose themselves. That's why we were able to keep our laws and so on and so forth during the time of the captivity of the Romans. Okay, but ultimately they had their own people in our governments as well. The Herodians who were working directly with the Caesars. All right, so even though you had people who are pretty much, quote unquote, taking over our land and our people who are not of our people, all right, prime example, like I said, the Herodians, right, they still had some form of Roman influence upon our people because of their policies that they were pushing, just like here in America. Okay, those that you so-called the people put in power are not really there to do anything for the people. All right, they're there just to control the people. Hence, you have the word government. Okay, mind control. They were put in place, all right, by the elites to make sure that the people are in order, doing what they got to do and following the company policy. America is a corporation and it has its own policies. So let's continue. It says, but the flip side of that coin is that when a good government collapses, things tend to be harder for the citizens because they'd come to rely on the infrastructure of that government in their day-to-day life. That's America. See, all these benefits that people are on, they depend on that. All right, I did a video earlier today, going into how the health insurance Medicaid is going to be pretty much cut off this month. And 15 million people are going to be affected by this, and they don't even know about it. See, so it's going to take that one time where you get a call, all right, that this is the amount that you got to pay for your insulin or whatever people need to use nowadays, right? And you're like, wait, tell me, isn't my insurance taking care of this? And they're like, no, you don't have any insurance. See, that's why you got to come pay $20,000 for 2 bottles of insulin or whatever. See, and that's going to send shockwaves through people's spine, and they're going to start rioting and getting in them streets. Okay. So continue, says, with good governance, you have infrastructures for communication and bureaucracies to collect taxes, sustain services, and distribute public goods. You have an economy that jointly sustains the people and funds the government, says Feynman. And so social networks and institutions become highly connected economically, socially, and politically. Whereas if an autocratic regime collapses, you might see a different leader or you might see a different capital, but it doesn't permeate all the way down into people's lives, as such rulers generally monopolize resources and fund their regimes in ways less dependent on local production or broad-based taxation. So let's just jump down right here. It says, this pattern of immoral leaders destabilizing their societies goes way back. The paper uses the Roman Empire as an example. See? The Roman Emperor Commodus inherited a state with economic and military instability, and he didn't rise to the occasion. Now, I believe Commodus was the son of Marcus Aurelius, if I'm not mistaken. All right. So let's continue. It says, and he didn't rise to the occasion. Instead, he was more interested in performing as a gladiator and identifying himself with Hercules. He was eventually assassinated, and the empire descended into a period of crisis and corruption. These patterns sounds kind of like this guy. No, I'm not even going to do that. These patterns can be seen today as corrupt or inept leaders threaten the core principles and hence the stability of the places they govern. Biden. Mountain inequality, concentration of political power, evasion of taxes, hollowing out of bureaucratic institutions, diminishment of infrastructure, and declining public services are all evidenced in democratic nations today. Diminishing infrastructure, a decline in public services. That's the part that we're seeing here that people are not seeing, but that's okay. All right. It says, our findings provide insight that should be of value in the present, most notably that societies, even ones that are well governed, prosperous, and highly regarded by most citizens, are fragile human constructs that can fail, says Blanton. You hear that? So all this bravado that Esau got, or the fourth industrial revolution, all this infrastructure that you have, all this shit that you've built, it says what? Our fragile human, it's fragile, okay? Human constructs that can fail. In this case, that will fail, okay? That will fail. Let's get that. And everything that Esau you have in some type of plans moving forward will be destroyed by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Point blank, period. See, we're telling you what's to come. Right? We're telling you what's to come. As the book of Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 4 says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places, right? That's build back better, you know. We're gonna rise out of the ashes, you know, the phoenix rising from the ashes, all kinds of BS. Right? Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. Then they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh hath indignation forever. See? So in verse 3, it says, and I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. So the Lord is telling you, because of his hatred towards you, and it's justified. All right. The Most High we know is all power. All right. And he's righteous. He's perfect. Right. Perfect in righteousness. So of course he's going to hate the wicked with a perfect hatred. You see, I mean, this devil does everything opposite from what the Lord has said. They're complete extremes, right? The Most High is the right hand side power, and Esau is just out there all the way at the end. Like everything the Lord is doing on the right hand side, this devil is like, I'm gonna do on the left hand side, but extreme. You know, I'm gonna go all out with it. You know, look at all the stuff that's going on around the world, man. You can't see that there's something clearly going on. There's something wrong, seriously, psychologically, physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally wrong with these creatures, man. All right, they will never get it. All right, what's that in the book of Daniel? None of the wicked shall understand. Let's see if we can pull that up. Okay, let me see. Right here, this is the book of Daniel, chapter 12 and verse 10. It says, "Many shall be purified and made white and tried." Right, and that's who the many is talking about. Who ultimately the elect. Okay, we are the ones going through that purification process. Okay, and we are the ones who are going to be wearing white, representing righteousness. All right, because we've been tried, and the Lord has we found favor in the eyes of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, what's that? Revelation 3 and 10. Because of that favor, because of that patience, because of our patience, we found favor in the eyes of the Lord. All right, that He's going to keep us in the hour of temptation. That's the time of trial that we're going to go through. Okay, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. See, so we know exactly what's going on. We understand what's going on. All right, but the wicked, they don't get it. And that goes for you 2/3 as well. All right, you are part of the wicked. Okay, and whatever judgment the Lord is coming down to deliver, you're going to be a part of it, lest you repent. Okay, but Esau's not going to repent. It's over with this nigga. All right, it's over with. All right. But I want to show you something real quick. All right, because earlier today, all right, I believe it says 9 a.m. All right, for whatever that means. Anyway, so it says President Biden, right, says, Congress, it's time to act quickly and deliver the assault weapons ban to my desk. Listen to this nigga. Let me get some water, bro. Hold on. All right, let's read that again. He's telling Congress, this guy here says, Congress, it's time to act quickly and deliver the assault weapons ban to my desk. And this nigga opened the door to get cooked. Everybody started flaming this old ass nigga. Let's read a little bit. Somebody said, idiot, it's time you read the Constitution. I know you hate it, but Congress shall make no law to abridge the Constitution, you communist fool. That's what somebody said to their president. All right, does that sound like happy people? Or that sounds like a bunch of people who are a bunch of citizens, all right, who are not happy, all right, with the direction in which their country is going in. That's what it sounds like to me, right? A whole bunch of citizens who've lost confidence in their leadership. Somebody says, oh, I've seen this argument before. Don't build a wall except the one around my gated community, or ban guns except for the ones that provide security for me and my family. In other words, hypocrisy, right? Somebody said, you have a party that literally wanted to kill people who didn't want to take the jump shot. Then the same party wants to take away your guns. Let that sink in, right? Again, this is showing you, this is what the so-called president is getting after he puts out a tweet. Remember, this is all part of the TTID. Whatever you're typing, they're watching. They're seeing what kind of responses these people are giving. Social media is tracking everything and it's categorizing. AI is doing all that shit. They're not sitting behind a computer worrying, man, there's so many people. AI does everything. Why do you think they have all these verification products? They want to make sure it's you who's doing all this shit, so they could track your ass and come find you when the time comes. Okay? It says the entire design of the Second Amendment is to stop Congress from creating laws to take our guns. So he's also on the list. The next person on the list says the previous assault weapons ban did zero to stop gun violence, and any new law will fail the same. Sorry to trouble you with the facts, Joe. He's definitely on the list. He's definitely on the red list right there. Right? Somebody says the Second Amendment does not grant us the right to bear arms. The Second Amendment denies the government to infringe on our right to bear arms. He's also on the list. He's stating facts. Somebody says you don't call on Congress to pass bills you wrote while president. You sign or don't bills that Congress writes. This is the dumbest tweet on your account in the past week, and that's saying something. Hey, he's also on the red list. Somebody said Hitler, Stalin, Castro, Chavez, etc. did the same thing. I guess that's who you want to be like. She's also on the list. All right. Now you got a lot of people saying things that's definitely making them on the red list, man. Wow. Okay. Somebody said, you're not taking our guns, you commie. Just because an insane transformer lunatic went to a Christian school and slaughtered children. Definitely on the red list. They got so many likes. Oh yeah, on the red list. Right? Somebody said, that's reason to get more guns, not give up your guns. Oh, right on. She's on the list. Right? Tell me why we have never heard of a mass shooting at any inner city school. Because armed resource officers coupled with one entrance point works. He's on the list for giving such a great point. No. Somebody says, not just that, but hell no. The demented idiot POTUS wants our weapons. Oh, he's on the list. While evil, hormonal imbalanced psychos are gunning for us and our children and making 10,000s or thousands of new threats on social media every day. We will never relinquish our guns, our rights to acquire more. Listen to that. Or our rights to acquire more. He's definitely on the list. And he puts a picture of the Second Amendment. Oh, he's on the list. Right? Somebody said, piss off, Biden. I listen to no man, especially a traitor like you, are to this country of ours. Yeah, he's on the list. Somebody said, ban Joe Biden. Oh, quick list. All right. Somebody said, instead, you deliver your resignation letter to the American people. On the list. History informs us what happens to people who are unarmed. Look back. He's on the list. So it just keeps on going. Again, to show you, most people are not in agreement with the current way in which the country is going in. You see, but it has to happen this way. It's called prophecy. America got to go down. Okay? And unless you are of the elect, you're going down with it. Point blank, period. All right, no matter where you stand on it, you are going down with this place once the Lord decides to pull the rug. All right, out this motherfucker. Okay? And this is what's going to end up resulting with all this tension that's being built up. All right? There's a book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 16. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Okay? Because people are going to be so fed up that the normal day-to-day life is going to change. All right? They're not going to be adhering to the laws or, oh, this is happening. Nah, they don't care. And guess what? AI is going to be tracking all of that. All the civil disobedience, all the mass madness and chaos. AI going to be watching everything. And when the time comes, scripture said they shall be like madmen sparing none. Right? They're going to unleash holy hell. All right? On all you so-called Americans out here. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. Okay? And we are at the time where Like I said, when the Lord starts to turn up the heat, and these devils start really coming out and showing you their horns, a lot of people are going to be very uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. All right? Very uncomfortable. And a lot of people are going to die. Okay? It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So it's a double whammy. Okay? No breaks on either side. All right? It's not going to be a good time, man. Very soon here in America, it's not going to be good. And you can't escape either. Them days is almost over, man, where people get to go up and down, left and right, over the border, back and forth like that. No. All right, they're going to do away with all these things, with all these new laws, climate this, climate that. Travel is going to be banned, pretty much. Okay, in the name of saving the planet. All right, there's a book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 10, and verse 2. It says, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. Okay, so that's why you see so-called Biden. I was about to say Eden. He definitely Ed. All right, Biden. Okay, and look at the people around him. Look at Kamala Harris. She dumb as rocks. She cannot deliver a regular written scripted shit that she's supposed to just read. She can't even do that. Just go out there and read the lies that we're going to tell these people. She can't even do that right. See? Clown ass nigga. All right? That's what she is. A clown ass, hoe ass nigga, man. Okay? And all she does is going around pushing these hoe ass agendas. Latest that I saw, she went to some country in Africa. All right? And she's like, oh, it was Ghana. It was Ghana. All right? And she said, the human rights, pushing the whole stupid philosophies, man. Human rights and women got to be in power. We got to push women so they could get more opportunities and, rule the world and all this bullshit. Trans rights. I'm like, what the fuck are you, like, who asked you to come around? Like, what's going on? Like, is this the only thing y'all worry about? Just going around in different countries telling them about how they should give sodomites rights and trans rights? Like, what the fuck is this? Meanwhile, the world is going to shit, and you just here pushing this type of agenda. It goes to show you America, the great whore. Okay, Babylon the Great, America, spreading confusion all over the world. This is the philosophies that we're talking about. Okay, pushing the madness. Everything is upside down, and that's what they promote. Look at this country. You can't even get a break. Biden's whole cabinet is filled with retards and a whole bunch of sensitive hoes that just go around parading men turning to women. Their so-called health minister or whatever is a whole dude that looks like a female. What the fuck? Old ass nasty witch bitch. Whatever that is. The secretary or whatever of transportation, he's a homo. All these people that you see in power, Mayor Adams and all these clowns, they're all a whole bunch of sodomites walking around here, pushing sodomite rights, forcing it upon the children, forcing it upon the people. Everywhere you go, it's in the movies, it's in the commercials, it's in on the board, the billboards, it's in the music, right? It's in the books. Everywhere you go, when you're in the train station, the subway, it's there. They put. I mean, come on, man, come on. See? So we can't be the only ones pointing out all this evil. All right? That's why the Lord is going to send that heavy, heavy judgment upon America. It's going to go out like never before. A different way. All right? Ecclesiasticus 10 and verse 2, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. That's why America is the way it is now. This is the most retarded generation, or the most retarded time ever. Dumbed down, docile, wicked, immoral, hopeless, godless, disrespectful, just all the negative attributes that you don't want to be a part of or any society would ever want to associate themselves with. That is what America embodies right now. Death, destruction, negativity, just evil. We're definitely in the time of evil. Look what's going on. Bad time. Very bad time. All right. And the judgment will reign very, very soon. Okay. There's a book of Ezekiel in chapter 9 and verse 4. It says, and the Lord Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh. And it says, and the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. All right. All the abominations that be done, not only, all right, in America, but also in Israel. You know, I mean, it just never ends. You know, Jake is just wicked right now at this point. They're just mad wicked, but it's just too much when it's Jake being wicked here in Babylon. It's just like, all right, y'all niggas, man, shit. You know, I mean, shit, bro. You got Jake in different countries. They're not going around wearing dresses on TV, man. Talking about masculinity. You don't see that. It's only here in America. They push that shit like it's always on our people. And nobody's sitting up and watching and say, hey, there's something going on here. We gotta turn back to our God, man. We gotta get back to that Bible, man. These men, these Israelites, what they're saying is really, we gotta turn back to that. For the most part, they're not gonna do that. Only the elect men, women, and children are going to do that. And that's the mark that the Lord is setting upon us. Okay? So that we don't take that mark of the beast. It says, and to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. It's over with. Okay? No mercy. That's what the Lord's commanding the angels, the death angels. Okay? They shall be like madmen, sparing none. There's no mercy coming, man. Okay? Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. See? Women. Biden's cabinet is made out of women. All right. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark. So can we see that the Jean-Pierre, whatever her name is, all right, the White House press secretary, shorty, right? Can we say she gonna get cooked too? You damn right. Ain't she a woman who doesn't identify as a whatever? All right. Women, they're all gonna get cooked. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark. You see? The Lord is very specific with that. All right. Isaiah 13 and 12 says, well, a man shall be made more precious than fine gold. That's how precious the men of the Lord are going to be. The Lord is sending angels to set a specific set of rules for these specific men here. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark. Like, you better not do all the cooking, but them, you stay away. Come not near. Okay. It says, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. So just keep in mind that when the Lord starts the endless killing of you wicked ass people, the righteous are always going to be good, because there's a command that's already gone out to the death angels. Come not near any man upon whom is the mark, which is what the mark of exemption from judgment. Okay. So provisions are already made. All right. While you got death angels out and about to kill and destroy these wicked ass people, they're not going to be coming around wherever the elect is at. For what? That's not what the Lord commanded them to do. So they have a job to do. See? So we're going to be good, man. We're going to be very good, brothers. You know, through the Spirit, man. You know, so don't worry about it. The Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua already got everything set up for us. We're good. Okay? The troubles that's coming, we're going to be delivered from it. We are the Israel of God. Lord willing, we are those men, women, and children. We are the Israel of God, man. That means we are the most special out of all. Okay? And when the judgment starts rolling out, we're going to see how special, how truly special the elect really is, man. All right? The elect really are to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Okay? Let me get this real quick in Isaiah. All right, chapter 13 and verse 14. It says, and it shall be as a chaste roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. All right, this is all part of the disintegration, all right, of this country. Once everything goes down to shit, it's going to be chaotic. Once the system collapses, you're going to see all hell breaking loose, just like we read earlier. All right. And this is how it's going to play out. They shall every man turn to his own people and flee everyone into his own land. All right. So that's when you're going to have a lot more of these so-called race riots in them days, man, because it's going to be every man for himself. And when there's a house or let's say in a building, okay, the Jakes who know themselves, they're going to band and team together and fight against everybody else. Okay. When you see how fights break out in the hood, it's always like, it's like lions. All right. You see, if you watch how lions actually attack each other when there's a fight breaking out, and how Jake actually fights in the hood, is the same thing. They'll band on you. Everyone's swinging, wow, 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 getting crazy. And then they'll stop. Hey, chill, chill. And somebody might pick up, you know, just like lions, you know? So it's going to be crazy out here, man. All right. It says, everyone that is found shall be thrust through. And everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. See? So there'll be no mercy. There'll be nowhere to hide. Only with a man of the Lord that you're going to get some type of protection. Outside of that, you're done. You're cooked. It's over with. At some point, you just know, hey, at some point, you're just going to die. Some way, somehow, that shit, if you make it, the missile's going to see you too. All right. Verse 16, their children also shall be dashed in pieces before their eyes. Shit. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. Okay. Their wives are going to be raped right in front of them. You know, you're going to have these military dudes from different countries. It's not going to be, oh, American troops. No. These American troops are hoes. They're bitches. They're weak. They're going to be bringing them Ukrainian niggas, them Nazi Germany niggas. They're going to be pulling up here. They don't speak your language. They don't care about you. They see you and they call you a dog and a bitch, right? You stupid, slutty bitch. Spit right in your face. Blah. Just like that. Give you that gulag treatment. Stomp your head in. You so-called black women, you frozen avocado head ass, onion tip head ass bitches out there, you gonna get fucked up too. Okay? You think you all that? You taking trips to Miami, spring break, with your nasty looking nails, wearing Crocs. Okay? With your bonnets on your head, with no respect. Long ass eyelashes, and you out here playing games. You got weed in your bag. You finna go have some fun. You're gonna blow $5,000 on trips and bullshit. Rise up, you careless daughters. Because when them troops come down here, when them NATO troops get their ass over here, when them UN troops get their asses over here, it's gonna be square business. Okay? And there'll be no shelter. We ain't gonna be looking to save you. The fuck? For what? You know, hey, the elder Manas Zagba just did a video of these was that hoochie hoes and something like that, right? That's the first time me hearing that, but you know, it's like, damn, there's something like that out there. And the Chambers Dictionary even talking about it. That's how you know it's serious business, man. You know? And these females are just out of control, out of hand. Just like America. They feed off of that vibration of America. America is Jake females show you how America's state is. Undesirable. Okay? At the bottom, just nasty. Nobody wants you. But yeah, you think everybody wants you. You're gonna get cooked very soon. Okay? Very, very soon, man. All right. Man. Whew. There's a book of Micah, chapter 7, and verse 10. It says, then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now she shall be trodden down as the mire of the streets. Okay? You're going to be trampled. All right? There'll be no mercy. In other words, being down as the mire of the streets, meaning that you basically, you're everyone just walks all over you. You know, you're so at the bottom, like hopeless, broken. You're just mingled into the ground. Like you're just there, like bottom feeder. You're homeless. You're hungry, right? You're hopeless. You've probably been raped mad times. You're already drugged out. There's no spirit. There's no will to live in you. You're just broken. And you're just there, just waiting to just get done. That's how you females gonna be. Just miserable. You know? And that's the way the Lord's gonna get you. All right. He's going to get you because you really have no power that you think you have. And the Lord is going to show it to you very soon. Okay. You're going to realize, damn, maybe I shouldn't shut the fuck up and been with my man. Right. You made the system deceive you into thinking that you had some type of support system. You forgot who you are. Huh? You forgot who you are? You allowed this devil to lie to you again? Oh, it's time to pay. All right? The Lord is not going to die twice. It's time to pay. Period. Okay? There's a book of Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. It says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters." And that's the men of the Lord, the prophets. All right? We get on you women because of this. The Lord is speaking. Ye careless daughters, you have to wake up and listen. Give ear unto my speech. All right? All this madness. You got females who wake up and, well, claim to be so-called woken up. All right? Calling themselves Israel and all this madness. And look what they do. You know? You got all these females, all they want to do is walk around and twerk on everything they see. What the fuck is that? Where's the so-called Jewish woman at? Do you ever see them do this shit? Nah, no. They own businesses. All right? They got bread. They're doing things. They actually have some type of power. You don't see them. Describe what a so-called Jewish woman looks like. A typical Jewish wife. What do they look like? How do they appear? Like, what do they do? You don't hear about it. You don't know about them. See? But our women, they're known everywhere. So loud, so boisterous, so clamorous, undesirable. You're everywhere, but nobody wants you there. And you're just being used. Verse 10, "Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, and the gathering shall not come." So there's benefits, all right, whether you're using men or you're using the system of men, it's all going to fail. The Lord is going to take all that away from you. Your OnlyFans, your baby daddies, your sugar daddies, all this weird shit that you guys got going on, the Lord's going to take all that away from you. The typical so-called American woman right now has nothing going for her. It's either, oh, I'm working on my career and got no love life, or she's a lover. She's a fucker. She's everywhere. And she ain't got shit else going on. No brain cells, nothing. Body count at 1,000, brain cells at 0. The fuck? Verse 11, "Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins." That's a form of mourning, meaning what? Repent. Okay? Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins is a form of mourning. Okay? And that's what Esther, when you go back into the time of Esther, all right, that's what they ended up doing. Okay? She took off all her glamorous clothing and she wore sackcloth. All right, put was it dung or dust in her hair? All right, and she wept. And prayed to the Heavenly Father, all right, to turn the tides, all right, on the wicked Haman. Okay, just like we are in the times today, and you women are not even doing that. Very dishonorable, man. That's why nobody's going to save you in the time of trouble. Okay, save you for what? For headaches? Come on. Verse 12, it says, "They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine." Okay, because all those good things, all the green economy, if you will, the greenbacks, you got this money, your bank account is flashing, you're so-called independent. This shit mad funny, bro. You go against your own nature and then you bug out as to why things are not going well for you, why you're not happy, why you're so miserable. Everyone is to blame for your shit, but you're going against the very nature of how you're supposed to be successful. You got to have a strong man and lead and be after his leadership, be in subjection. Okay? That's your role as a woman. You have a man, the Most High created a man first, right? Adam was created first, then Eve. See? And the Lord put him in dominion over all things. He said, you take care of all these things that I have created for you. Rule over it. And he said, man, Lord, after a very long day, I've been out in the field. I come home and I got to cook. I got to do my dishes. I gotta do my laundry. I gotta make my bed. I mean, I gotta clean my house. And then I gotta work 12 hours. Whew, it's too much. And then at night, I'm lonely. I'm sitting here by myself. I'm talking to these animals, these angels that are around me. But man, it would be kind of nice to have a companion, And the Lord could have given you a brother, right? He gave you a woman, right? He said this would be a weaker vessel and she would take care of all the things that, you shouldn't be worried about. That's why the Lord created the woman, to be a helpmeet unto the man. But the woman has become the biggest problem. Most men, the biggest puzzle you ever solve is the problem of women. Understanding female nature. That's like the moment a man understands that shit, he gains all confidence and power. Right? That's the biggest hurdle. You see? But it's not supposed to be like that. And when you come underneath the righteous order of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, you start to see how in sync a man and a woman is supposed to actually be. You feel that energy. If it's true and if it's sincere, of course. But there's worldly relationships that goes all around the world, right? Especially here in Babylon the Great, especially now. You got she, he, they, them, people getting together. Oh, all these dating apps, nothing is real anymore. Again, this is why this place gotta go. What is there to live for? Seriously, what is there to live for in this country, in this world? Nothing. See? Nothing. That's why the Spirit has us leaving all this shit. We've been left it. All right? We're just waiting upon the kingdom, man. Every day we wake up, the kingdom, the kingdom, the kingdom. Okay? The kingdom. Everybody else doing whatever the fuck they want to do, that's okay. We're not going to the same place. We're not going to end up in the same place. All right? There's a book of Micah, and I'm going to close it out. Chapter 2 and verse 10, it says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction." All right? Isn't that what America does? Most people here in America are sick. Period. They're sick. Some way, somehow, some level of form, you have some type of problem with you. Even in this truth. Whether it's a health, whether it's living condition, whether it's finances, something. Right? That causes you some form of anxiety, depression, anger, frustration. You're never at peace. There's always something, right? Yeah. That's America. That's the land of pollution. That's the land of destruction. And that's the land destined to be destroyed by Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. So I'm leaving it off there, Lowell, and you've been edified. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ruach HaKodesh, the water, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, for the inspiration. And until next time, Shalom.